Hey guys, it's maintenance day at the Solstice Meadery. Hey guys, that's right. So today, I had lost about 3 hours of video, which included making a watermelon mead, which I have in this, as well as this bucket here. I did 2 product reviews, one on my bottle tree here, as well as the bottle sanitizer, which can fit on top. I'll do those again later, as well as a racking technique. At any rate, a little depressed, and decided to do my weekly maintenance. And it dawned on me a couple things at the same time. One, I haven't done a video in a couple of weeks because I lost that 3 hours of video. I just kind of down and out about it. I didn't want to, just kind of a little depressed, did not want to get in front of the video, in front of the camera again, and explain all this, that I had done a bunch of work and then lost it all. So I decided to go ahead and start doing my weekly maintenance. And and I also realized that this is something you guys never get to see, right? Myself and several others, there are a few others that are mead makers. They do YouTube channels of some type, and the only thing we ever show you guys is when we're got an idea to make a mead, or when we're racking it, or when we're bottling it, right? I mean, you get to see those 3 things primarily. Sometimes, like I plan on doing a history of mead video and a few other ideas, maybe some interviews later on. Some tastings now that I have stuff in a bottle. Which, by the way, part of what I did was I bottled the Pyment. And give me just a second. There you go. I bottled my Pyment in 19 187 milliliter bottles. And the reason I did that is because I can use this to do about 2 wine glass pours for a sample and a tasting. If any of you out there, subscribers, want to find me, get a hold of me, and do some tastings, I am more than happy to bring some of what I make and share it with you and see what you think. I will tell you my thoughts on it real quick. I back sweetened it a bit too much. I think I put like 14 ounces of honey, which is a lot. So I put too much honey. And so it's a little it's very cloying, and frankly, to be honest with you, the grape is a bit on the nose. The flavoring from the grapes, it's a bit strong right now. I'm hoping that balances out, mellows out over time. The unfortunate part with these is that even though I stirred multiple times and used some other techniques to try to make sure all of the honey got incorporated, I still occasionally have, you know what, let me see if I can get this other bottle out of here. So got this one very gently. I'm gonna reach it out there towards the screen. Maybe you'll be able to see that, but at the very bottom, there is a bit of honey that just will not incorporate into it. It's beautiful, it's crystal clear. It's got a bit of, let me get the frost off the glass. But you can definitely see, I mean, that's a beautiful clear, but there is a bit of honey on the bottom. If I do that, that honey gets, and it's still nice, it's still a really nice looking mead, but that honey just won't incorporate it. I just got too much in there. So at any rate, it's, like I said, the grape is on the nose. It's a bit sweet. I did that to try to satisfy my wife. She actually likes this, except she doesn't like the grape flavor. So I probably won't be doing a Pyment again except in experimentation with maybe some other products, some other grapes and or honey, just to see if I can iterate on it and do something a little different. Other than that, I wanted to show you what some maintenance is like, just you know, on a daily or weekly basis when you're making mead. And that can be anything from like right now, what I'm doing, I've got my vodka here, and I'm checking the levels. I've already done a couple of these. This is the spiced pear. This is the Sizer. I'm looking at my capsicum ale, and the airlock is super low, right? So I'm literally just going through each of my brews and checking them out, seeing what they look like. In this case, adding a bit of alcohol to the airlock. And I don't know if you can see that, but that is super, super clear. I'm gonna be moving this into one of these shortly. And back sweetening, I'm probably gonna back sweeten this capsicum ale. I'll take a taste of it beforehand to see if I still like it just dry. I may only add like 1 or 2 ounces, maybe as much as 4 ounces of honey, just to give it a little bit of honey flavor and just a little contrast to the heat that is in this. I want to have just a little bit of that on your tongue, but you can see, I mean, that is, I hope you can see through my shirt, through the meat. It's super clear, beautiful, beautiful. Real gentle with that. Remember I told you the banana in other videos? I've mentioned the banana was a disaster. I had some problems in racking. I didn't put them in the secondary. I didn't put the banana in a bag, and the alcohol, the solvent that it is, literally turned the banana into just mush. Doesn't help that I kind of mushed them up in the first place. It was a disaster trying to rack it out of there. I was literally pulling banana. It was like a banana slurry is what it was. And it kept clogging the racking tube, the auto siphon. So I kept having to pump it. I kept having to pump more and more air into there. It was just burping and belching, and it was horrible. I decided to stick with it. I'm going to, which I'm going to show you now, very, very gently. This is my banana. And this cake that is floating midway, I hope you guys can see it. There is a cake that is floating midway right here. This was up here until, I don't know, maybe a week and a half ago. So that cake has slowly started to drop out of, it's no longer, it's becoming denser than the fluid around it. Additionally, you can see down here, there is a good 2.5, 3 inches of haze. And that is liquefied banana that is just hanging in suspension in this mead. I have smelled it. I have not tasted it. This is already back sweetened, by the way. I'm going to stick with it. What I am hoping is that this cake here, this seems pretty solid. I am hoping that it continues to lower down, and as it does that, as slowly as it's going to, that it takes that haze, that liquefied banana that's down there, and just packs it down slowly into a solid, something, at least plugging it up, keeping it, holding it down at the bottom, so that I can try to rack this off, because it's beautiful up here. It's beautifully clear. The bottle's a little dirty, and some of that's on the inside from the banana chugging away, but that is beautiful, beautiful clear up here. So I am hoping that can compact that down over time, and that I can get to this and rack it. Because I'm worried that if I stick a siphon in there now, and start to pull this out, that cake is going to stay where it's at. It's not going to, as the level lowers, I don't think it's going to lower at the same time. So I'm going to wait, give it time. Time is a mead maker's best friend. I'm going to let that pack that down, hopefully, so that I can get to this, and then we'll taste it and try it and see if it's worth saving, see if it whether it has actually managed to work or not. But again, my banana's a bit low. Part of a mead maker's life. I just wanted to share with you guys. I don't think you ever get to see this part of what we do. It's kind of boring. It's kind of tedious. But if you love what you do what you love. So, and again, gently move that over. I don't want to disturb it much at all. Let's see what else we got up here. We got our McMead. We can take a look at it real quick. Again, trying to be gentle so I don't disturb that lees. There is just a bit on the bottom. I have to tilt this one to get it out. So on this one, again, there is just a small amount of tiny sediment on the bottom there. It's beautifully clear, just like the capsicum. Again, hopefully you can see my shirt through there. It's beautifully clear. My airlock's a little low. I've already done my Viking's blood. I keep avoiding this one, the McMead. It's ready. I could back sweeten this and run with it and get it bottled. I keep avoiding it because I have to take those. Remember those packets that I had? Remember these? These honey packets, because they are the hard cased hard side with the foil on top, it's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to have to dip these into sanitized solution briefly, pull them out, dry them. And the best I can do is have a container on a scale, rip them open, use maybe a butter knife or something to scoop the honey out. These are a ½ ounce a piece. So at a minimum, I think I'm gonna need to do like 24 or so. That should give me about 12 ounces. Again, like I said, 14 ounces was too much for the piment. I do want this to be a reasonable McDonald's style sweetness. So I'm hoping that 12 ounces should be good enough. That's 3/4 of a pound. That should be more than enough to bump me into the sweet category. And we'll see how this tasted wonderful when I had originally tried it. You can check that video out along with the capsicum where I burned the tar out of my mouth. And you can laugh at me there. But yeah, it tasted wonderful. It was really great. I was really surprised. It has done wonderful, exceeded my expectations as far as performance and flavor so far. So I'm really excited to see how this McMead works out in the end. So that's about it, guys. I just wanted to show you what it is like on a daily or weekly basis when you have all these different types of brews and equipment. Keeping up with a schedule and making sure that your airlocks are topped off. Planning your next brews. I intend to do a couple of side-by-sides as far as orange and blueberry, I believe. I'm going to do a side-by-side. I'm going to do something Swedish. I know I promised that via a poll that was taken. That's what was voted for. So we're going to do that as well. I've got some blueberry, some blackberry. What else have I got? But like I said, the orange, I've got 2 different ways I want to do that. I got 2 different ways I want to do a blueberry, and I want to do them side by side just so that we can see how they act and how they work together. I got a cranberry that I'm going to do. There's all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned. Like and subscribe. Tell me, what flavor do you want to see? Do you want to see a particular? Is there a particular? Maybe there's an herb that you think might be good in a mead. Tell me what that is in the comments below, and I will see if I can incorporate it, your ingredient, into one of my brews coming up. Don't forget, I'm on Twitter, at Solstice Meadery. You can follow me there if I happen to do a tasting out and about when all this craziness is over with. I will only be announcing it there so that my followers can find me and we can get together and taste some mead together. But again, please like, subscribe, share the videos. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and enjoying my channel. I hope it's educational. I hope it's informative. And if there's anything you'd like to see, something in the nature of what I've just shown as far as the maintenance is concerned, or another type of video, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear you guys' ideas. All right, guys, take care. Gonna drink some mead. Have fun.